it's Spence, the evil genius.
Oh, yes, it is. And today I'm joined with my good friend and client, Doug Shehan. Hi, Doug.
Hey, how are you, Spence?
Happy New Year to you. We've been talking for a while today, actually. But
awesome. Happy New Year.
Doug and I were working together since before the new year on a new project. I'm not going to go into the details of the project, but something to do with Formula One racing, junior drivers, something really cool that's a scalable thing. And one of the things that I love with Doug is that Doug is a geek from the same generation as me, and he's a convert, because when we met, Doug, you were like, I want to say this in the nicest way, you knew too much. You were dangerous because you're trying to bring a lot of your metaphors forward. But to your credit, you fully converted, and you are like one of my best clients and fans at the moment because you're doing things the right way.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So in conversation, keeping that in the conversation, what we're going to show today is that Doug is one of the first users of Simple Site for what he's building out, which is a platform for race car drivers and their promotion and media and so forth. And what I wanted to share with Doug, which is why I schlepped him into this conversation, was there's some new tools that work in the browser that also work with Simple Site. And I think this is going to be really remarkable for everybody for a combination of tools. So we're not going to sell stuff per se, but I'm also going to kind of hint at what we're doing with Simple Site. And Doug is going to give his honest reaction because this is true. We literally pushed a button, started a site, put one plugin in, and Doug, tell me if I'm not being faithful. 3 minutes, the whole thing was set up.
Right? Yeah, 3 to 5 minutes. We were rocking
with something that previously, even for the basics, I'm going to say would have been 2 to 3 hours minimum with knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do Spencer's dance to share a screen, which we know how fun that is, but today, not too bad. Okay. I'm going to push us to the left and scale this a little bit. All right, on the left, goodbye, Fernando. Fernando's got to take a break because he's just, his big head is in the way. Welcome to Fantasy Island. Okay, goodbye, Fernando. On the left, and this is what I want to share a couple tricks. On the left is Simple Site in focus mode. What Doug and I were experimenting with, among other things, was Doug had some previously made designs that he had done using some of the techniques and the suggestions we had discussed, using his minute launch system and his dude. Was your dude Claude or Cursor?
Cursor.
Okay, so he's using Cursor as the desktop agentic tool. And what was the LLM you used for this design at the time? Was it
Gemini?
Like,
yeah.
Okay. So one of the things is Doug's got some really beautiful design and skills and other components he's building, but he essentially wanted to know for launching whether he can make this work with Simple Site. And we've discovered a couple cool things. One is that the new Simple Site makes it possible to manage an entire site, not just like your homepage or a single scrolling. We can literally manage configurable landing pages that have conditional display. We can do header, no header, scrolling, no header, like all these wild formulas. We just went through a few mixes where we took Doug's page and we posted it into a singular block. What we discovered by accident was that Doug had programmed into this block a fixed header, so that by accident, even though we put a test panel in above it, that it turned out that Doug's header from the other panel ended up working on the whole thing, which to me was a remarkable trick of how flexible this can be, which is you don't have to pre-build everything. You can actually just make one thing, drag it in place, and then reuse it for a lot of purposes. But here's what I wanted to show as the tip of the day. Notice in the test panel, we had used the site builder dude. He doesn't have a name yet. You can name him what you want. Notice in the chat, we had previously asked him to build a logo and asked to do this. And here's what he had done in the past. He had built this race car page. But for right now, what we're going to do is something unique. We're going to say, let's take the color scheme of this site and make new content so that he can match the color scheme. And one way to do that, which I was telling you, is we could go to the front of the site and we could copy the URL and give it to him as a prompt. But I think another way is with a new tool that I came up with that I've been using. And there's a couple of them. This is called Miro. And in order to show that, I actually have to show the bookmarks. Show bookmarks bar. Miro. Oh, actually, I don't have to show that. It's Miro. Let me hide the bookmarks bar again. Goodbye, bookmarks bar. Miro. If I go to the site and I click Miro, this is an extension for Chrome. Why it's cool is that it gives you instantly the ability to figure out what the page is made out of. What are the colors? And you can even export them if you want. Like you can, you have a lot of colors on this page. But if you went to the panel or whatever, you can even go down and where's the little tab in here? Download it. Sometimes I have to scroll and scroll and scroll. I don't know where it is. It doesn't matter because I'm not going to use that. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag my mouse over this. Why? I'm going to copy. I'm going to go to the dude and I'm going to say this. I'm going to say paste. And then I'm going to say, hey, Mr. Designer. He doesn't have a name yet. Make a new sales panel for this page about the value of choosing the right tires on your Formula One race car for juniors, and use these colors and the same styles as the other panels that are on the site already of the page you're in, the site you're in. Now, what did I do? I basically used the internal dude, and I used a free tool that allows me to give him the specifics he needs. I also want you to understand that I could save this as a permanent skill. So if I leave this alone and I went to settings and I open that in a new tab, I could actually program in those very same colors here permanently as the color palette, which would save me in the future from having to do it. Are you with me, Doug?
Yeah, absolutely.
So these are like live tips with Doug and Spence. Let's see what he comes up with. Now, while he's building that, you guys should know that I've built in some new capabilities. He can actually build the block directly if I wanted him to. He could output to a post or a page or a custom post type. He can create a skill and save the skill. So all these things that we're doing, the takeaway, which is cool, is that we no longer have to necessarily use the desktop agentic tool. And in fact, in many cases, might be better to use this tool because now you have a nice lady, Trish, who works with you. You can have somebody or multiple people working on the same site and they all can have their own content that is being saved, right? All right, let's see what he built. Oh, he did it. Doug, check it out. He did it. So what we're going to do is let's copy this, or we could just publish it directly too. But since I'm showing you guys manually, you could just paste it in and call it new block. Now, here's what was cool. We can drag and drop this in any order, but because we're also absconding or using your other panel's navigation, it's still going to fit in place. But if we really wanted to make the navigation work, we should probably use the navigation skills of him. But for right now, I'm just showing the design tool as our tip of the day. So I'm going to save this, and let's look at our site and see what we got. And there it is. Now, Doug, first of all, I haven't let you say two words. What's your impression in general of what just happened?
Well, it would have taken me hours probably, or, or something like that to be able to generate it and to be able to use the agentic tool right there and just drop in what I want and build this page. I'm off to the races.
One of the things we talked about, but I'm not showing it today in this, is that when you want to build contact forms with FluentCRM, especially, the skill is already here, right? So if we wanted to use the same skill as this, we could just rinse and repeat. We already have like the chat that we, previously had created, or the block that we previously created. But if I wanted to make something from scratch that works with FluentCRM, I could make a FluentCRM sign-up form or a contact information section, okay? I could do the same thing. Let's just rinse and repeat one more time. If I used Miro, I could just see what the colors are. Just, again, what we were talking about earlier too, and I think this is important. You know what the difference is between success and failure in this world? It's getting to the outcome fast. We don't have to automate everything.
Right.
Me clicking a button and telling the dude whatever. Okay, now let's do what we said. Let's make it as a simple site block section with the, oh, what's wrong with my thing? Section with the same colors and style as the rest of the site, like I've given you. Now, again, if I had saved that in the permanent area, it would have been fine. I'm just going to give it to it again. I'm going to have it make a simple site block. It should put a new block right in the beginning. Okay. Whether you're using your desktop tool and having it build all of this stuff for you automatically as a comprehensive, or whether you do it like we're doing now, which is kind of like, oh, I'm learning to bake, but the tools are all there and the ingredients are there. I actually think this is better and easier because I'm going to show you something remarkable that when you do it this way, notice he just made the new contact section. I can now curate, where do I want this? You know, like, let's preview how it looks. Maybe I'll put this at the bottom, right? Like, it just saves you from having to repeat your instructions because now this can be just dragged into place and saved, right? A couple things I want to point out before we show this. Number one, he tells you what he made and gives it the name, but I can also take this whole thing and give it a name and save it. Doug's new race site. Why? Well, first of all, by doing this, I can import, export, I can save it, I can preview it, I can post it, whatever I want to do. But that's in addition to the normal backup that comes here, because notice I've already got built-in previews. So I'm always protected. I can't lose any of this stuff, but I can also save it, share it, import, export it, make new client stuff, which is going to be a big deal in your business, right? Because you're going to have hundreds, maybe thousands of parent race sites. We don't need to build those from scratch. But when we use this tool, this could be the creation tool that is used to then send the stuff to the actual sites of the people. All right. I want to show one other trick about the email part and the contact, but first let's see what he actually built. At the bottom, here's my new, I love this because it worked. I mean, just look how awesome this is. It built an awesome contact form, which will be connected automatically to FluentCRM. Now, you guys don't have FluentCRM set up. Should we just take a flyer and extend this 2 more minutes and just set up FluentCRM? Why not, right? You don't need FluentCRM Pro. Turn off Simple Site Focus. You can add the free FluentCRM. And by the way, the dude can set it up. But even if he doesn't set it up, it's this easy. We can go ahead and just add the free did I say free enough? The free Fluent plugin, because we have the Pro, but we don't need more than the Pro or the free one. Let's add a plugin, FluentCRM, which again, you or your clients don't have to get into using WordPress anymore. This can be delivered as part of the normal process because the dudes are capable of understanding what I just did and doing it for us. Let's use the hide notices capability to get rid of all that junk at the top. And then let's just really quickly set up Fluent. All you need for Fluent is just 3 things. We're going to give a name to the business. Doug's site. We can use a logo or not. We had already created a logo, by the way, with the dude's help. I think it's ugly, but we're just going to use it. And then I'm going to give a list, main list. That's all I need is 1 list. The tags you don't need, but I'm going to give you 2 tags. Sample tag 1, sample tag 2. That's just a placehold. We're done. We do not need Fluent Forms. Why is this awesome? Go back to the dashboard. Now we close the simple site focus. So now we're just focused on our simple site. Watch this crazy madness. Let's decide that we want to add some person place thing into our CRM. We can take a Fathom conversation. We can take an email. We can go to a website. We can do whatever we want. We can go, let's do spencerforma.com or something. Okay. spencerforma.com. I know I have an about page or whatever. My story. Okay. I have a contact page, even better. The point is, whichever way you do it, as long as it has some information about the person and how to contact them, that is what we're interested here. So let's go to this contact. Let's go to the dude and say, and notice, by the way, I'm in Code Canvas default. Let's go. Hey, dude, it's Spence. I just had a conversation with this guy, Spencer Foreman at WP Launchify. His information's on this page. Can you grab his information? And I want to make a beautiful HTML5 email that says, hey, Spence, it was awesome talking to you. I hope to talk to you again. Make it look like it was written on a word processor with real paper and sign it at the bottom, Fernando, Spence's AI assistant, and make it look like a piece of paper floating on a page. Now, this is a skill, can be saved and repurposed, but what it's going to do is two things. It's going to make some beautiful content. But the important thing is when he makes this and looks at that stuff, I can extricate the contact information and add that guy Spence to the CRM automatically with one button click, if there is any information in there. And notice the email. I would probably tell him to make it look a little more beautiful, but like I have some examples of this. If I want to save this email, by the way, I could say, you know, email blue background and call it other. But here's the thing. Let's see if there's any contact info in there. He doesn't have any contact info. So let's say I do this manually. If I go to the contact info here, this is the important thing. Just the same concept. If I just drag this stuff and I pasted it into the dude and I hit contacts, it goes through the info and finds anything useful. And look, help at WP Launchify. Add that to FluentCRM. Why? Because now with this email, now I just go, what if I look for help at WP Launchify? And I could say, hey, Spence, here's this thing. And now I can send this email to him through FluentCRM. And it will attach to his contact profile. Or I can do copy for Gmail and do it through Gmail. But watch this. I don't have, by the way, FluentCRM set up yet because we didn't put Fluent SMTP in. But watch when I go to the contact for this new guy, Spence, email, here's the email. Ready to go. Now, why is this awesome? This is awesome because now your team, your tools, your dude can start collecting information, associating it to a person in the CRM, send a history, and then trigger automations from there. So when we talk about like how simple Site is, I can now refer to this to build anything, like make a better thing to Spence, make a better contact form. Here's a form to add people in to the site. Let's do the same thing we did. By the way, I don't think I have to keep doing it a million times, but if I used Miro, right? The reason this is useful is just I'm reinforcing the obvious, but let's just take this again. I'm going to go over here. Now watch this skill. I'm going to go to the Fluent. I'm going to do new skill, Fluent CRM signup form with Fluent CRM. And here's what's important to Doug. Doug wanted to know different things about somebody, right? So let's say, be sure that it's in the same colors as the site. I'm going to give them to you here, but also include a drop-down selector of what is your skill level of Formula One racing, beginner, intermediate, advanced. And depending on the choice, in addition to collecting the first name, last name, and email, also collect a field that says your son's name. And then depending on which choice, beginner, intermediate, advanced, I want you to send them to a different landing page that you can make here in Simple Site that would be essentially explaining the difference for their level. Now that was a lot of stuff, right? But what I've told it was, I want it to go ahead and give me the information in a format that's ready to use, that builds a form that will add the contact to the CRM and also redirect to people. And all of it is being built from one interface that I can save this prompt, reuse it. I can, by the way, choose which tool I'm using, like Sonnet or Claude or whatever, Sonnet or Gemini and so forth. By the way, I don't know if it saved it, so I'm just going to do this one more time too, is just so we get the Miro color scheme. I don't think this would be beneficial to keep copying it. I would probably just do what I did earlier, which is paste it into the settings. But let's just paste it here. And I'm excited to see what happens. So far today, we've been hitting it on all cylinders. Like in the 3-minute setup and everything that followed, it's been working out. So let's see what he's going to create. He should create a new, I didn't toggle the make it as a block, but I think I did. Maybe I didn't. Either way, we'll have the code to use. We should have the form that functionally gives us all those options, the conditional redirection, adding tags, putting them on the main list, everything. As simple as that. Doug, have you been using the FluentCRM yet or no?
I have not, and that's why I've used it a little on one of the other sites I'm building on the hub, but it's about to get used a lot on this site.
What were you using before? Because we had a conversation about that. Where's the CRM you were using? Was it Zoho or something?
Yeah, Zoho.
Yeah. You were in, I mean, Zoho is a good product, but it's a little bit of a cult. You have to be like,
and
all in or
I'm going to go save myself a ton of money by moving over here.
Right. I mean, the thing that's neat, I had just a conversation earlier today with somebody. Even if you're doing basic necessities, you're going to spend several $100s a month on most CRM products. And it's not necessarily for the email part. It's fine if you're spending a couple $100 a month on emails, but it's just for being in the base. And then they charge you on top of it. I've had clients with $1,800 to $2,800 a month HubSpot bills for nothing. With this, there's no cost other than the cost of the SMTP service. So it's interesting. Now, one of the things that happens, I'm not sure what he's going on about generating here, but it's talking through the API. And I think it's going to have something consequential. I'm pretty excited about this, actually. So what we do is I could save this block manually, which would be called, contact, sign up with choices. So you can repurpose this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy it. And let's do the same thing manually, even though we can do it automatically. We're going to do this sign up form. And I'm pretty sure that this is going to work the first try. Notice, did we do anything else to set up the CRM? No, nothing. So if it works, I'm excited. If it doesn't work, I'm not disappointed. But like in the time it's taken me to yap, we basically, built this crazy site with all this stuff in it, right? I mean, this is incomprehensibly amazing in my view of the world. Tom@jones.com, Tom Jones. My son's name is Ryan or Jack or something. Skill level beginner. Join now. Thank you, Ben. Now wait. Now this is interesting. It probably has the redirection logic, but I didn't give it the tool that I should have turned on, which was to build the page to redirect to. So it can and will do that. But in the meantime, it did achieve what we were looking for it to do. Let's open the file drawer. Let's look in the CRM. I feel like we're on a game show. Would you, Doug, like to take door number 1 or door number 2? And what has happened? Oh my God. We have got Tom Jones, F1 beginner in the list, done. Now, here's some amazing stuff. I've also added with the free Fluent CRM, free CRM, nothing else to buy. You can make an automation using the email. Remember, we just had that cool email. Okay, let's go back to the dude. I told you 5 minutes. I lied. I guess we're going to just 2 more minutes. Let's go back to the dude. And again, I don't think we have to keep repeating ourselves with the color, but I'm just going to do it because it's working out so far. Let's stick with what works. And again, if we did this another way, it would be easier. I'm going to say to the dude, and notice I can choose that block. That's what would have made that redirection nice. But I'm going to say to the dude, paste. Make me a beautiful HTML5 email that responds to anybody who signs up as a beginner, so I can use it in FluentCRM and use the style and the colors of the site like you have been, so it's optimal for deliverability and call to action response. These skills that I'm talking about are also memorialized in a library of tools that are available to anybody for free that I'm building out at my various sites, including FluentCRM. So you can take the skills and reference them in the plugin or reference them by URL for how to do amazing stuff, so that you don't have to do like I did and go blah, 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 blah. You could just choose from a drop down of make it do this, make it do that. And one of the things you and I talked about, by the way, Doug, is the game plan for all of us is, what if all of these outcomes were just predefined, like choose this, and all you have is your brand and your company name, right? Like if you have 10,000 clients doing Formula and race cars and they all have their own sites, isn't it true that it's like selling iPhones? Like they don't care that there's 9,900 other people with an iPhone. They just care about their iPhone.
Right. Yep.
Okay. So he's generating this code. I'm pretty excited about this on a lot of levels, not only because the capability in-house, because you went through the process. We had to set up Node.js and download the server and install the thing, but also the cost.
Right.
When you're doing your desktop agentic tool, you're paying 60 to 100 a month to get anything productive. I'm including the key in here as part of your 97 or your 197 a month. And it's not only saving and reusing all the stuff, but it's working directly with the tools. It's kind of probably saving $100 a month, at least on that level alone, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So he made an email. I'm going to do this. Now he could publish, by the way, notice where you can choose from. One of the things will be a FluentCRM email, but I'm going to just do it manually right now. And again, let's go back here. FluentCRM, we're going to go into email templates. I think making this a template is a better move. Create a new template, create from scratch, simply go into HTML mode. And again, he can do this for you, but he's smart enough to pre-fill the placeholder if you want. So if it says like, hey, somebody, it can pre-fill that information so that it automatically knows who it's being sent to. But then what I do is I just create the template. And I'll call this, let's call it contact form beginner. Okay. And I go, hey, and in this case, I'll probably say, hey, first name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Welcome welcome to Doug's site. Now I create the template and it's available to use any way I want, including manually, like we were doing before, or as part of an automation. There's new tools built in for automations for triggering and everything else that doesn't require the Pro plugin. So create from scratch. We've got these new triggers, the minute launch canvas block, but in this case, we could just do the basics of it's triggered when, let's give it a name. We'll call it new email sign up, new user sign up, or minute launch canvas block submitted. Either way, all I'm trying to point out, we're not going to run this actually, is that when somebody signs up, the next thing is an action. We've got these custom actions for a campaign or just a custom email. And here's where you can use the template, import template, contact form beginner, done. And now what I've got is I've got that email that could be triggered when somebody has something happen, like a tag applied or whatever. And the reason that I wanted to show you this extra stuff was these automations will also be capable of being triggered and built by the dude in here. So let's wrap it up because I've talked your ear off and I was trying to make it more interactive. But the bottom line is we were doing this as a way for me to show you what I was going to show you in the Zoom call, but share it with everybody.
Right.
What do we end up with? We have a site that not only can the interactive desktop tool, talk to through MCP. And not only can we build AI images and do all this crazy stuff, but running the site, building the site is as simple as just some pre-made skills, asking the dude a few things, doing a few tips, and it all shows in one screen. And I want to show you the plugin count. The plugin count itself, if I turn off the Minute Launch plugin manager, the one plugin, what's the total count in this site?
Yeah.
I've got 3 plugins. Three. Nothing else to buy. One plugin, you can use it on your hosting or our hosting. It's $97 or $197. If you buy the $197, you have unlimited email help. You also get the CDN and the security. You've chosen to go with the hosted for a lot of reasons. But the point is, one plugin turns on everything else delivered in an interface that removes, by the way, the madness of WordPress. What the hell am I supposed to do? Where do I start? Into, I can turn this over and give it to a client. And I explain to the client, all you got to do is go to the one tab, simple site, and just talk to the dude. And all your whole site is here where you can preview it.
Awesome.
I'm excited. By the way, Doug, you were responsible for many of the inspiring features on this. Because
Well, it's some of the value of the old dude history.
the takeaway for all of us is that one of the underlying things, and I had a great call this morning with a new client, is that you may be really vibe coding today. You may be building stuff today with Replit or, Google blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. Those don't have an end result that you can replicate, own, control, remake. This gives you, with 2-3 plugins, a sane environment that you or your clients can build stuff that has all the shortcuts and tips of my 19 years WordPress experience in a box that is WordPress, that works with everything, including, we didn't show it today, but like you can have your WooCommerce sales pages, your checkout, all the normal components. But what you didn't see us do at all, no page builders, no forms, no ACF Pro, no add-ons, no blah, 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 blah. And if you go with the hosted version, it's CDN optimized, secure. We even saw some logic when we were doing our earlier call that it turns off. It's smart enough to like turn on and off different things based upon whether you're showing a sign-up form. And I'm excited. I'm excited to have you as a client, a friend, but also to be here listening to me yap about this, because this is the cliche game changer. If you're a human being running a business or wanting to be an implementer or somebody who helps other people, this is how we're going to get there with AI.
Right.
And in a way that now logically that AI is built into the site that you or your client owns and controls. But as we demonstrated, you can also use it as a factory.
Right.
We didn't show it, but we talked about it in the other. If I clicked export, I could take what we built here that was saved and stick it on a client site in 4 seconds. If I nuked your whole site, I can rebuild it. All of those protections are native to this. And I think that's part of the excitement too. Okay.
Well, absolutely. The biggest thing, well, again, like you said, is for us, for me, and what we're doing, it's going to be able to replicate, as you and I talked about on Saturday, we can replicate the sites, and we're talking, the goal is hundreds of sites, and then turn it into a marketing, a marketing cockpit for each of those individual sites and families and drivers.
One of the things that exemplifies, which I think is an important thing, I did extend this concept out so that there is a block, not a block, there's a plugin, the plugin manager, that is a service extension. WordPress is open source. I abide by open source. I think it's the most important part of this whole relationship, because what we want is something that your clients know they own and control, and that Spence can't take it, Doug can't take it, nobody can take it. And that it's with components like IKEA that are in the future going to be replicable.
Right.
But the AI components, the stuff to build, I was worried and still am concerned not to turn that loose into an ecosystem where somebody can modify that and do nefarious things with it. I was able to achieve this interface, which I want to show one other thing. So we didn't show it, but this is important. Where we get the best of all worlds. You can build something and spin out 1,000 clients, and using my platform, I give you a manager to manage 1,000 clients, and you don't have to worry about a thing. You literally can be up and running in minutes, and yet your clients have all the features and the benefits that we built in. Here's the plugin manager. This is it. I think I showed it at the beginning, maybe.
Yeah.
The get started guide is all that somebody will need. It's just everything you need to know on like one page. But the plugin manager itself manages the one physical plugin, which what I want to mention is when you build a site, whether it's with Simple Site or Canvas Block, you will always be able to run it even if you stop using the platform. That's important.
Right.
I'm not locking you into my cage. I'm not playing games. I'm not doing an awesome motive 7-step cancellation torture you method. You want to go, you say, I want to leave, you go, bye, press a button, you're gone. God bless you, because everything you built is yours. But that's the one physical plugin that enables your stuff to carry on. The API keys, while you're a subscriber, the keys are included. You want to use your own keys, use your own keys. You can continue doing it in the future, but that's the benefit of the bargain. But the updater, this is the big deal. One button, and this is all that needs to be updated with the toggles of which features you're using. And there's only a handful that are necessary, because the plugin manager of WordPress was insanity and still is, like insanity, like an hour to update some plugins. This is click, done. And I wanted to share that because it's really important to me that when you deliver a product to the customer, they're not locked into Spence's crazy idea du jour. This is all standard WordPress under the hood. Right. I've just taken 20 years almost of experience and curated into something so Doug can run a platform of hundreds of clients in a way that saves 95% of his brain power and uses 100% of AI's capabilities.
Right. Absolutely. And that's what I'm so excited about is, and we're just getting started, Spence. I mean, we now have the simple site, and you and I have already talked about where, ways to take this even further. So
I'm going to do one other crazy thing, because I do these videos and I put a thumbnail on it. And you've actually got this installed, since somebody may or may not have seen this. Let's actually just see something here. Hold on. If you go into the image editor, besides the media library, the image editor has AI capabilities. If I do open router, because the key's included, I can actually use this capability in the media library. So I go to create an AI image, and let's do something fun. Let's add an image from a URL. I'm going to go to spencerforman.com. I think I probably have images of me elsewhere, or I can upload a picture. But let's do something crazy. I'm going to keep this super simple because I'm otherwise hanging. Let me do this. I'm going to go into the media library of, no, I'll go into, let me just do this way. I'm going to go into, I'll just grab my head. I just grabbed my own head. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to upload it to your media library. Do not abuse that, Doug. I know what you're thinking. Okay. Here's what I do. I'm going to select from the library. I'm going to upload that headshot. Literally. I have another picture of me that I use for all my other images, so I could probably use that one. Hold on, now that I think about it. I think I have one in here that's I use for all my other videos. Here it is. So I use this crazy one. All right. If I take this headshot and I tell the AI what I want it to do, I'm going to be like, make a photorealistic image of this guy talking on a StreamYard call to another fellow with a gray beard and a hat. And they're talking about building WordPress websites the new way with Minute Launch. I can improve this with the prompt that's included, like, give me tips on what to say and how to do it. But even without doing that, I can make it a square, and I'm going to generate the image. Now, if everything's hooked up, which I think the keys are in place, this will generate an image, add it to your media library. And what I do is that's how I make the thumbnails. And I currently use Canva, not to be confused with our canvas block. I go over here. So for today's show, I use the me and Fernando template, right? This one. Let's duplicate this. And then what I'll do is I'll take the image created, not too far off, a different hat, but I'm going to copy this image. And I'm explaining this to you because this is how stupid simple all of this is for like lay people. I paste this in and I'm literally doing like the plumber's new thing. I layer that to the back. This might or might not fit. We'll see, you know. And in this case, I could get rid of the logo and I could literally squeeze it in. But you can see how crazy simple this could be. And then I go with Doug Shehan. Sorry. And simple site. Okay, guess what? That's it. Today's show is done. And the dude publishes this out, right? So with Doug Shehan and simple site. Now, these are templated out. So one of the tools that I have built that I haven't launched yet will probably be like launch these canvas templates and everything else. But right now, the dude can make the YouTube description. How would he do that? Well, one of the things I do is I take the StreamYard transcript and then I go into Simple Site and I give the guy a transcript. The transcript will be everything from the conversation. So if I did that, I could do this manually and like put one of my old transcripts, but I could also just tell him what you're talking about. And I could be like, give me a YouTube description that's optimized for SEO readability, has all the links and the summaries about a show that I'm doing with Doug Shehan on January 7th, 2026, live on my WP Launchify YouTube channel, and use the same color schemes. Oh, actually, this is a YouTube description. Just give me the optimized YouTube description that says, watch it now. Now, that's not how I do it because with the transcript, I have a template that I've told him, but watch what it does. It's going to give me the YouTube description so that I can literally go where we're broadcasting live now, which is on YouTube. WP Launchify. We're live now, kids. Look, we're live now. I could edit this particular live while we're doing it. And I can edit the video descriptions. Okay. So literally I've got a thing that does this, but and that's not what I wanted. I want to say, give me the YouTube description in text-based that will work inside of YouTube, not in HTML5. I should have specified that, but the point is he can edit it. I just take that, I put it into YouTube. Now, I've got a tool that I haven't released yet that will do all of this as a skill automatically. But just think about what we talked about. You can have a live conversation on Fathom, bring it in, add the person to the CRM, send an output, right? You can do a live YouTube, right, where I take this output and I'm literally making it as I go. I've got the canvas here, which I just then share and I download page 17. This is how I do it. Page 17, limited to 150 kilobits. And what I do is I don't download this and put it to YouTube only. I put it on my site so that I have it useful for the emails too. But right now, I'm actually able to take this image that I created while we're talking and add it as the thumbnail. And then the title, you know, it came up with something that it thinks is clever. I would have it optimize it for, you know, readability, visibility. Guess what, kids? Uncle Spence and the team have done more in that amount of time than most of you guys will do all day. Why? Because it's easy when you do it the right way, right? It's easy when you use the tools that are built into here. And I think that's the important part, is that now all this stuff is also historically saved, right? Like, I've got the output of stuff that he made earlier. Okay. Thanks for letting me share that and talk your ear off, Doug. You're a really nice human being. Let me go back to our thing and we'll say goodbye. For everybody else who's watching, you can get this at minutelaunch.com or WP Launchify. Starts at $97 a month for everything you need, including all of your WordPress plugins, $6,500 of traditional software, all the AI software, built-in API key, self-host. If you go hosted, you get unlimited email support, concierge style, plus CDN, security, backups, all that stuff for $197 a month. Are you kidding me? You can add in the marketing package, add $300, and I take care of all your marketing of the emails for you. What did I do? I did 1,500. You can add in full concierge marketing and run your shop for you. And a VIP is $5,000, gets you from where you're at to where you want to go. Doug is a VIP customer. Thank you, Doug. But what we're building here is businesses that pay for themselves. So the whole premise of my business is a human relationship with me, Doug.
Right.
You're my best buddy now. We've had lots of fun calls, Saturdays and Sundays sometimes too, mostly.
That's correct. Yeah.
And the end result is what? We took you where you wanted to be and put you where you are.
Yeah.
And I think they're pretty close. Like, I think, right? We're
absolutely. Well, we're further actually, and we've done it faster than I could have ever believed. And that was the whole thing, is to do it quick.
I mean, you were inspirational on a lot of these points, so I appreciate you. And you also, what I appreciate most, thank you, is you're participatory with the concept, which is you didn't drop your kids off at the pool for the summer. You didn't make me make a list of stuff. I said, we're going to do this the new way. Two humans in a relationship, having Zoom calls. I'm going to build cool stuff, adapt it to your needs. And I'm chuffed at where it's come, but like, you really helped me get here. So thank you for that.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank y'all. Good luck, folks. It's awesome.
I'm sure we'll have Doug on again to show more, and also some of the tips of what he's building and we're building together. Until then, see you on the next episode. Bye. Hang with me, Doug.